Coach, what was most beneficial about this sort of mini break?
A little bit of rest and mental and physical rest. Coming out of it was a tough stretch we were in. It was 7 games in 11 days, or there was at one point 6 and 9 in 6 different cities. So it's a little break, and now you get back at it tonight.
Dave, thoughts on tonight's game playing Ottawa? They played last night, but they've won 4 in a row. What do you expect from the matchup with them?
We're worried about what we're doing here. We're trying to push our young players ahead. We need, there's some parts of our game that could really improve, puck management, game management, things like that, there's areas of our game that can improve, so that's what we've really concentrated on. Recognize they played last night, and we have to make sure we're ready to play tonight.
How much different is Verby 1,000 games into his NHL career than the first time you coached him? What's changed?
Well, he continues to mature, but in actual fact, there's not a lot of difference. His demeanor is the same, still a smart player, same skill set, just probably like a lot of us, gone through a lot more experiences and looks back fondly at some and not so fondly at others.
Do you think he's come out of his shell a little bit more, maybe even just this season, where he's a little more comfortable with being that veteran leader, talking to us, actually?
Probably a little bit, yeah. Probably a little bit. Just, a confidence that goes with knowing that he's been a good player for a long time. You look at his career, it's an outstanding career, and he's jumped around a little bit, but he's a player that, when all's said and done, is going to look back on and he had a real good career here and other places.
Mostly this place, and he's talked about it openly, specifically playing for you. What is it about that pairing that seems to work?
I don't know. I like intelligent players. He's an intelligent player that, he knows, he has a good idea of what he does best and how he can be successful at it, and I have a good understanding of what his game is and what he can do, and I don't know. It's been a good relationship. I think all the years here, right up to the last little bit here, he's had Marty Hansel with him. That's been a good pair. So there's been some good chemistry all the way around.
Why was he the one you gave the vacant A to?
He's a good veteran leader. We're looking for players that young players can look up to down the stretch here. He's never been a real vocal guy in that, but he's a real good pro that young players can look at. He prepares well. His game is very consistent. There's a lot of things to like about his game. Sometimes I think when you're looking at captains or leadership guys, sometimes there's too much emphasis put on rah-rah and not enough substance. He's a substance guy.
Yesterday we talked a little bit about you mentioned Hansel, and we were reflecting on the Whitney Hansel Ravada line and all that. But now without Marty here, what are you seeing from him meshing with some of these other guys, the younger guys?
Well, him and Max have had a pretty good rapport off and on. And when Marty was there, now we got Dvorak in the middle, and Verby's real enthused about Dvorak as a young player. He sees him like the rest of us see him as a real good young player coming. So Verby's kind of embraced that to help him, and they've only been together a couple of games, but they've been a pretty good line.
You've known him a while. He just talked about how uncomfortable the last 2 weeks have been for him because there's been so much attention on him, like on the road when everybody's wondering if he was being traded. It was almost like there was Verby cam on the ice.
Yeah, that's probably not his style. He's a little bashful, likes to fly under the radar, which is sometimes a good thing for people, and he's fit in that category well. I think he fits in that category as a scorer too. There's been a lot of times that people forget about him, and he ends up having an impact on the game.